Is oral sex allowed during celibacy? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. Thank you for clicking on the video. Happy 2024. I want to get in front of the camera and make an updated version of my last video that I made on celibacy, as I have now reached 3 years on this journey, which was my initial goal heading into this journey, heading into this commitment that I've made to myself when I took a vow of celibacy 3 years ago. Being here now and reflecting back, this journey has taught me so much about myself. It has taught me clarity. It has given me wisdom. It has taught me discipline. It has taught me to value myself, to respect myself, to protect myself as well. Trust me, once you celibate, you see things from a different perspective, especially when it comes to females and the intentions and the mind games, emotional manipulation. A lot of things become clear. And why that is the case is because number one, you get closer to God, your mind is purer, your heart is purer, your soul is purer. And number two, you get yourself back, because when you're intimate with people, you actually give a big part of your soul, of your spirit to that person. And if you had multiple partners, multiple encounters, can you imagine how much of yourself you have given away? So the journey of celibacy teaches you to gain that energy back, to gain the strength back. And being on this journey for 3 years, I definitely feel the impact of that. My mind is just on a different frequency. And another thing I want to mention is how proud of myself I am for getting here, because this journey has been super challenging. It has threw everything at me, but I withstood it. I withstood it. And one of the reasons why I withstood it is number one, because of my faith in God. And number two, because the benefits are so much greater than the urges and the challenges. And once you realize how good the benefits are, you don't want to stop. It gets to a point where sometimes I think that I could do this for the rest of my life, which is quite intense, and I don't plan on doing that. However, time to time I do think that I could do it. It feels so good. I could keep going for a very long time. And my goal is to keep going. And I guess now, since I've reached my short-term goal, the next goal is 5 years, which is only what, 2 years away. And the time flies by so fast. Initially, when I committed to this, I'm thinking, wow, 3 years is such a long time. But let me tell you, the 3 years flew by like that. Next thing I know, I was here. And wow, it's been a journey. It's been so healing. I'm so proud of the journey that I've been able to overcome, and I'm still here and I'm still going. So I want to share this with you guys, and I've actually prepared a list of questions and answers for you, because in response to my last video, there was a lot of questions that you guys asked me. Thank you for reaching out, by the way, which I thought were interesting, and I thought it would be good to make a list of them to go over the questions with you. So I've got them right here on my phone. And I'm going to start with the first question, which is, how do you deal with sexual urges? This is a great question. And I guess number one thing that I would say is having some sort of a internal practice routine, whether that's qigong, meditation, yoga, breathwork exercises. Me in particular, I do sexual kung fu. I did a course back in 2021 called Multi-Orgasmic Man by Jonathan White, Sexual Kung Fu Grandmaster. It's a great course. In my opinion, every man should commit to this course at some point. I will leave Jonathan's YouTube channel link down in the description. Please check him out because you need to know about your sexual energy, how to work with it. So when you do get the urges, you know what to do. You don't impulsively act on them. You recognize them and you transmute them and you cultivate your sexual energy. So internal work is very important. So that's number one. Number two, physical exercise. You need to move your body. You need to physically expel the energy out of your body because if the energy is stuck in you, imagine you celibate, you're on semen retention, and you non-active. You just stand at home all day, you don't move enough, you're going to explode like a ticking bomb. I'm telling you guys. And I have friends who tried to get on this journey and failed because it isn't easy. And it's because of those two things: lack of internal practices, lack of physical activity. Do something, lift weights, do cardio, go for a run. Me personally, I do weights, calisthenics, boxing, cycling, hiking time to time. Time in nature really helps you as well because you get so much closer to the God, you get closer to the wildlife, and your frequency changes. Absolutely. So, yeah, those two things, and you'll be able to overcome your urges. All right, second question: is kissing allowed when celibate? I thought this was an interesting question because I was watching some celibacy videos on YouTube, and this one particular female who has been celibate for a long period of time, I think 7 or 8 years, much longer than me. However, she was engaging in kissing activities with guys, which I thought was like a taboo if you celibate. But then that was my own perspective. And a couple of people asked me this question as well. So clearly, uh, some people think that it's okay to kiss while celibate. And my answer would be no, it's not really okay because kissing is very intimate if you think about it. Someone's saliva enters your temple and your saliva enters their temple. There's bacteria, there's so much that goes on, there's a deep exchange. And did you know that someone's saliva can stay in your system up to 6 months? That's a lot. 6 months, right? So that is automatically a heavy energy exchange. It just wouldn't be right to be celibate and to be kissing people. Like, I don't know, to me, that's just a no go zone, but clearly to some people, they think it's acceptable. But yeah, in my opinion, no, it's not okay to be kissing while celibate. All right, third question: is oral sex allowed during celibacy? I thought I don't know. When I think about this question, like the answer is like, I guess you can imagine based on my response to kissing, what I would think about oral sex in celibacy. Of course, oral sex is not acceptable in celibacy. And in some levels, I was just reflecting on this question. Oral sex is more intimate than the actual sex because like I don't know, like you enter in someone's private genitals. There's exchange of urine, bacteria, all sort of things. I have a friend who is gynecologist, and the things that she told me that her clients have from sexually transmitted disease, when she told me, I thank God I was sitting down because if I was standing up, believe me or not, I would have dropped there and there because it's just horrendous, you know. That's another thing. Another benefit from being celibate is that you bypass all of those things, sexually transmitted disease, contraception, this, that. You don't have to think about none of that. You're pure, you're clean, you're cleansing, yeah? Clean spirit, strong spirit. Come on, next question. What period would you recommend for a celibacy journey? Right, I would say if you are considering to give celibacy a try, I would say nothing less than 12 months. And if you can stretch it longer than 12 months, that would be even better. Because in my first year on this journey, it was so new, it was so fresh, and I was still like learning things about myself, about my urges, how to deal with them, etc., etc. Don't get me wrong, some days, the urges are out of this world and my mind is racing 100 miles per hour. But those days are very minimal, maybe like 1 day a month or 2 days a month. Maybe in the summer, it would be slightly more, in the winter, it would be slightly less. But yeah, um, if you're thinking about celibacy, give it a year minimum, uh, because that's how long it takes to really get into the frequency of it, get into the vibe, and understand your body, your mind, your spirit. To cleanse your spirit takes even longer than 1 year, right? Because if your goal is to cleanse yourself, I would say it takes longer than a year. And if you are single, definitely consider celibacy. Uh, I was never planning to be celibate. I kind of, before my last relationship, I was not intimate for nearly 2 years, but I wasn't celibate. I was just not intimate because I was taking a break from relationships, etc., etc. But after my last relationship, uh, instantly after we broke up, on day one, I told myself, okay, I'm celibate. Like that was no brainer to me. It felt like I always wanted to do it, and it was just God called for it, and I just went with it, embraced it, and here I am, 3 years on. Do you masturbate? This is a great question because a lot of people misunderstand what celibacy is, and celibacy is actually practicing your internal energy, right? If you're masturbating, watching pornography, you're still giving away your energy, right? And that's not what celibacy is about. Celibacy is about cultivating your energy in the right way for the good things, to be productive, to be spiritual, to get closer to God, to put it into a project, into a business, into work, into developing body, whatever it is that your goals are, reading, educating your brain, etc., etc. So yeah, masturbation is not allowed. However, in sexual kung fu, we have a practice called solo cultivation, which is a different concept, which I won't get into this video, and I'll probably make another video based on what solo cultivation is. It is kind of a masturbation, but not the typical masturbation that everybody thinks, like whatever, watch OnlyFans and whatever. That's not it. But yeah, you shouldn't masturbate while celibate. Why did you choose to be celibate? Um, so I guess number one is to get closer to God, to cleanse my spirit. I felt like at the time I was at all-time low mentally, spiritually. Spiritually, I was non-existent at all. I just wanted to sort of understand myself better, develop discipline, develop understanding, how the society works. Trust me, celibacy has so many factors. But for me, I just realized that I didn't want to be in another relationship, and I wanted to cleanse myself on a deep level. And I also felt like my spirit just called for it. Like it was a thing. It wasn't like a thing where I just sat down and thought, but it was like, wow, like I'm doing this. It was just automatic. So it kind of came natural. It's a bit like, I don't know if that makes sense, but sometimes when your spirit or your intuition tells you like now's the time. And I just remember I just turned 30 as well. So I thought, you know what? I'm entering 30. I'm not happy with where I am in life. There are so many things that I want to change. There are so many things I want to achieve. And I felt like celibacy was the perfect lifestyle for me. Yes, celibacy is a lifestyle. What has been the most challenging thing on this journey? Good question. I would say that be mindful of how you use social media, because in my first year of being celibate, I wasn't on social media, I wasn't on Instagram, I wasn't on TikTok, etc. And it was so much easier. Like my first year was the, the easiest year, or out of the 3 years that I've had. This last year that I've had was the most challenging, 2023. And I made it challenging for myself because I interacted, I entertained certain conversations on social media, which I then, for a while, I'm creating something here, which I know isn't going to happen, but I still went along with the idea, if that makes sense. Plus, social media nowadays is very sexual. Like, I don't have to tell you, you know yourself. Just go on Instagram Explore page, and what's going to give you just booty, booty, booty. And it's just mad, like how sexual marketing and media is. And we live in society where sex is like sort of seen as a taboo, religiously and politically. It's a thing where you don't talk to people. Like, your sexual life, your intimate life is your private life, but at the same time, look, it's everywhere in your face. So it creates confusion, and that's exactly what it is. So I would say, yeah, stay off social media. Number one. What else has been the challenging thing? Just the journey itself. Sometimes you feel like you're missing out because the whole world is sleeping with each other, but you're not, when you know you could, but you're choosing not to. I think that's quite challenging. I guess in the summer as well, where you see a lot of skin on females, that can also trigger you. So you need to understand what those triggers are, and you need to know how to deal with them. But I'm at the point where, yes, I could still get triggered, but I'm not going to act on it. Like, I've developed enough discipline to be like, no, like, I can see beyond this. And once you're on this journey, you see things from a different perspective. You see how females interact with you. You read the energy on a different level. You sort of see for the bull crap instantly. Like, it gives you almost like this next level vision, and you sort of understand things from a bigger scale, bigger perspective. You sort of out of your root chakra, and now you're operating in your higher chakras, right? Whatever, your heart chakra, or your pineal chakra, but you're no longer in that, low vibration that sometimes as men we can spend a lot of time projecting and chasing happiness outside of ourselves, or looking at women and thinking, oh, I want that, but you're not thinking beyond. It's just this urge, this impulse that you need to act on it, and that's a problem. If you don't have self-discipline, I always tell my friends, my male friends, if you can't go on 90 days semen retention, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Anyways, guys, that's all questions done. Thank you for checking. Excuse me. Thank you for checking out this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Please reach out to me if you got any questions. Now that we are in the new year, perhaps you're considering celibacy. Yeah, do you want to join me for 2024? Let's do it together, right? Will be your year one, and it will be my year four. How exciting. We can encourage each other, because believe it or not, I actually don't know anyone who is celibate. Yeah, people have reached out to me and told me, oh, I'm also celibate because I've been non-intimate for the last whatever couple of years. But no, like, you're still exploring, you're still looking and considering partners for yourself. It's just that you haven't found one. You're not actually practicing celibacy because you initially committed to it. You just celibate because you're not getting none. Now that don't count. Conscious celibacy, it's a whole new world. Anyways, guys, thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.